Here we go. Bringing the audio in. Transitioning us over.
Snap
Oh,
snizzle.
wow. Look at that. Look at that. Hello, everyone. Welcome.
Hi.
Welcome. Hope you're all having a lovely Sunday. Sorry for the delay. I am sick. I'm blaming it on that. I
We're
forgot.
both sick.
I forgot how much effort it is to start the stream. Even just starting the
Mm.
stream is a lot of effort
Hey,
when you're
bud.
sick. Hey,
Cheers. Cheers to
cheers.
start the stream. Hey,
Cheers.
drink some tea with us.
Hopefully, you're not as sick as we are because we are sick. Jay and Darcy's RC Adventures. Hello, how's it going? I'm doing pretty well. Better today.
Better than yesterday.
Better than yesterday. Every day is a
Better.
gift. Wow. Hello, we're back. We're live again. We weren't live last weekend. I guess that is as good of any as good as any of a kind of introduction into what we did the past, well, since we
Week.
didn't cover it. So I guess technically it's like 2 weeks since we didn't cover it last week either.
Yeah.
But yeah, we weren't here last weekend because we were down in southern Utah. Right?
Imagine that.
Imagine.
We made the homage to the Holy Land. Or wait, I thought we were the Holy Land. Which way is it?
Well, this is the place, but that's the Holy Land, I think.
Okay.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
clarified.
that's something like that. Yeah, I'm not sure. You'd have to talk to Brigham Young on that one. No, yeah, we made the pilgrimage down to southern Utah. We enjoyed some RC crawling down there with the West Desert Wheeler showing us around one of his favorite spots, which I don't even know if he has made it really public, that spot.
No, I know where that spot is. I see it every time I'm golfing down there.
That's
Go
too
golfing
funny.
with my in-laws, and the other side of the Red Rock, I was just like, really? This is where this is?
As soon as we drove up to it, it looked just super familiar from all, because I've watched so many West Desert Wheeler videos at this point that it was like, oh wow,
Yeah,
it's like being on a
yeah.
movie set.
What's up, Ryan? How you doing, buddy?
Hey
And
Ryan, good to see you in
what's
here.
up, Mr. Old
We've
Jalopness?
got the
The
jalopy king in here.
the Kenny, aka Henny Rodriguez of the LA Dodgers.
But yeah, I think that was probably part of what got me sick, was just like that last weekend was a lot, and not very
So
much
this kid
rest.
decided to not sleep at all.
Yeah.
He slept all of probably 6 hours in the combination of 3 days.
Yeah, it wasn't ideal.
So yeah, he's a dumb kid, and his immune system isn't toit like a tiger like it used to be.
I guess not, man. I thought it was. I've been doing pretty good. I've been treating myself well. I've been getting outside, activity, exercise, eating, rest, sleep, work. All the
Lots
things you're
of
supposed
work
to
and
do.
lots of stress.
Yeah, it's lots of stress and not enough sleep for sure. I think,
But anyways,
yeah.
but anyways, it was fun.
This doesn't
We
need
had
to be
fun down there.
a high noon hobby health breakdown. This is what this stream is turning into. We're just going to talk about my poor health.
Anyways, we were down there with West Desert Wheeler, some Armstrong boys,
Yep.
uh,
The
and
scumbag, obviously.
Scumbag
Scumbag brought
also.
down us and Cletus and the Ginger, the other
And
Ginger.
who else was in that car?
It was
We were
just
laughing
it's
too
just
hard.
us and the Ginger Ninja.
Oh, and the Jinja Ninja, best Instagram name ever. That's our friend Cameron up north. He's the head of the Nerds group.
Yep.
He's been organizing comps up there for a couple years, and
The
they kill
pioneer,
it.
really, of the Sorka scene in Salt Lake City is Cameron.
Ah!
And not, I mean, he doesn't, obviously, we don't do direct Sorka. Hey, look, it's Cameron. He's in the chat too. Sup,
Hey, he's in
dudes?
there.
But we don't do a direct Sorka. It's not exactly, he calls it, or we call it, modified Sorka rules. But it's the closest you're going to get to Sorka comps in our little, at least in our group. I know there are people who do Sorka comps. I just haven't
Yep.
participated in them.
Up north, it seems like to be the only ones,
Mm.
pretty much. Up north in Utah here. Um, let's say we got Jalopy. You kid.
Yeah,
Just got off the trail
Yeah,
myself.
very nice, very nice.
This guy.
Yeah.
And then we got Ryan. Sorry if you've been sick also. It sounds like it's going around everywhere.
Yeah, it
And
definitely
then
seems like it's going around.
we also have my beautiful wife saying hello.
Wow,
Hello, wife from
Mike
the
is
other
on the chat engagement today. He's not letting a single
I'm
message slide by. He's getting every single
I'm gonna
one of
go
them.
on it. We're gonna do
I'm
this
sure
right.
the people watching this after the fact are really gonna appreciate that. Seeing you respond to all the comments that they
but
can't
hey,
be.
bring it up. We keep on bringing up Sand Hollow. I want to talk about it just a little.
Just a little?
Pull that beautiful rig out there, dude. Do it. Pull it out. Pull that beautiful thing. Oh,
it's hefty. It's
a
got
hefty
some weight to it. Wait, which side's the side with the big dent in it now? Yeah,
hey,
there we go.
wait.
Look at that
Does it
dent.
weigh more than
Do you
Ron?
see that? You can see it in the reflection pretty well.
Ooh,
it's not like focused, but yeah, that's a.
Does it weigh more than Ron?
I have not weighed it yet. I'm assuming
Ron's 7 pounds. I finally weighed him. 7 pounds.
So I think that we are heavier than Ron for a matter of certainty, because I can't hold this above my shoulder for much longer than this.
It's also because you're a little Nancy.
I am a little Nancy. This is also my left arm, so don't judge me. All my workouts go into my right arm.
Anybody that doesn't know what that is the RC Speedy C3 chassis, correct?
Yes, this is the RC Speedy C3. This is basically the belle of the ball in terms of C3 kits, because it's like got almost all of the accessories and add-ons that you can do, including the titanium. So it's the titanium chassis, the new round back design.
I just wanted everyone to catch a glimpse of this. He's going to give a full breakdown video of that soon. See, he's in love with it. Look at him lick the tire. It even tastes that good.
I didn't lick it. I'm too sick to actually lick things. I would normally, yeah. Don't put it past me. I would,
but it was a hell of a rig. It was really fun to watch. I've never seen. When we go out, we bring a couple rigs each, and we usually kind of cycle through them. And he brought a couple rigs, and he didn't even touch his rigs for the whole day.
I basically knew that was going to happen. Yeah.
But he needed to make a little video of it. It was still fun. He still rallied it up a couple things.
Oh yeah, so. I definitely tried not to hold back. Like I really tried to beat on it, and of course, I couldn't help myself. I definitely was catching it if it was falling more than like 5 feet. But even 5 feet, a normal rig falls 5 feet, you're like, ooh. But like when a cage chassis rig falls 5 feet and it hits the ground, you're like, first off, it hurts your ears. And
yeah, because it's like chalkboard scratching, but metal scratching on, especially like sandstone.
Refrigerator. Yeah, sandstone. Yeah. Sandstone's a good place to bring a rig for the very first time. If you really want to feel the pain of a new rig getting scraped around, bring it down to Sand Hollow for a day. You get all the scratches.
But it was really fun for him to watch. We did a little loop around this area. I didn't get one picture. Amazing. Me not taking a picture. We did this little loop, had a couple fun obstacles. There was 1 or 2 lines that were really hard.
Yep.
Towards the end, there was this big crack that West Desert Wheeler finally made it up after like 18 tries. I did it in 3 with old Ron. But no,
which one was that?
Cool.
The one kind of a little bit closer to the parking lot? Oh yeah, I know exactly, the overhung one. Yep.
So it was kind of funny. I have to tell about this. Is that it was like this little crack, but to stand where you needed to do it, you had to jump down to this little ledge.
Yeah.
And when we were, I was watching West Desert Wheeler do it, and basically he was hunched over as Luke was on there, like above him, trying to take a picture. And West Desert Wheeler is kind of a smaller guy, so when I was in there and I had Luke coaching me through part of the line, he was barely able to see. I'm like, take a picture. I was like, I can't, man. I can barely see around your ass. But no, my 15 or yeah.
Well, oh, did he unplugged himself? Are you
Sorry
back?
about
He's back.
that. No, the 14-inch wheelbase on Ron definitely helped me on that. I was able to land my tires in this skinny little crack at different positions when other skinnier AR-44 rigs or anything like that couldn't really do it because they would kept on falling off the sides there.
And you
But
had
it was
just
really,
just the right width for it.
I had I mean, he used wider rigs, West Desert Wheeler. He used capper axles, and I was doing it with AR-44s.
So you were a little bit narrower but longer.
Longer. And so where my tires were hitting, other people would drop at that area, but
Right.
I would still be
You were able to
like,
kind of
okay.
float because of the length of the vehicle.
Yes.
You had
yes.
more traction up front to help you float over it. I've noticed, man, it's the dynamic of like wheelbase and width and everything like that is a lot more important to getting over certain obstacles than I think people give it credit for. Like how long
Yep.
your rig is and how wide your rig is makes all the difference. And it can be amazing for some things
Yep.
and terrible for other things. And there's always a give and take, it seems like.
Yeah. It seems like, we were talking about it with, Slut Crawler himself, T, how the front of his front width of his tires are bigger
Mm-hmm.
with bigger, what am I thinking?
Hubs.
Hubs. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
the word hubs. He uses bigger hubs on the front than the back, and it crawls up better and it side hills better.
Right. It the
thing
wider on the
about-
front gives it more stability on the side hill, but the narrower in the rear still helps you get through gates and stuff and kind of helps the
Yes.
rear just fall in line with the front.
But when you're doing things like big old cracks, when you have a wider front and a narrower back, there's different compensations sometimes, because if your front hits that area and the crack right here and your back doesn't hit it the same way,
Right.
things are going to react
Well,
differently.
or yeah, if you need your rear tire to follow your front tire really precisely, but your front tire sits wider, you have to do some weird steering movements, and oftentimes you get yourself into odd predicaments in V notches because of that, for sure. Yeah, I've seen that. I've seen that a lot.
But it's mostly when you're doing like big, long V-notch like cracks. The ones that West Desert Wheeler is known for. I've seen that guy do some gnarly cracks, and believe me, my servo was not very happy.
No, yeah,
That Shift X2 up there was doing work, bud. Was
you can
doing work.
usually, after a day of wheeling with West Desert Wheeler, or realistically after like a half an hour of wheeling with him, you can touch your servo and like cook an egg on the top of
Yeah.
your servos usually.
Okay, you guys want breakfast on the trail? Oh, let's put our servos
Just- yeah,
together.
we'll just throw a little skillet on top of the servos. Is all good. But yeah, that's what we did for
fun.
the last week. That was a good time.
then we all got
Unfortunately,
sick.
we all got sick right after, or at least Mike and I did. T got sick a little while ago, like a couple weeks ago. I was sick
Yeah.
a couple weeks ago as well, but it was not anything like this. And then you and I both got it at the same
All
time
right.
this week. So that was quite unfortunate. So not much else going on, or not much else went on after our Sunday excursion, because I just went into full hermit mode. I didn't even do any building. I wanted to do some building. I also don't have all the parts that I want. When you could totally do a build, but you don't want to build it and then rip it apart and then build it again with the parts that you really want to build it with. So you just don't build it at all, so that then you can.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So that's where I'm at with it. Yeah.
You mean this thing?
Yeah, exactly the same circumstances going on there. So that's part of why I didn't build, and then part of it was just I was wrecked, man. I was totally wrecked.
Yeah. I get you.
3 printing.
But
What's
okay.
do you
let's
have?
go-
Did you have
before
something
we
to
move-
add there? What do you-
Yeah. Before we move on, I gotta stay up on this, dude. We got Gunnar Gregerson. What's up, dude?
Oh,
Nice to
Connor,
see
how's
you
it
here.
going?
And then we got Ryan. Yep, dents do build character.
They do.
Amen on that, brother.
Yep.
I have some rigs that are definitely hammered. I could show you a Phoenix
It's a
body,
good
and
thing
it's
that was
like
a metal
basically
panel
cut in
and
half.
not a Lexan panel, because that probably would have gone straight through a Lexan panel.
Oh, my wife quote of the day: "When you lick your tire, tastes like freedom."
That was pretty good. We'll have to go back and get the screen cap of that one.
Hi, Jan. Nice to see you here again.
Jan, how's it going?
And then we got
Hey, building the C3 with the
hey, we
VFD
got another
twin.
one.
Very, very nice. So I'll spoil it and say that is also what I did. I used the VFD twin in my C3 build as well. So I don't know if you're already building it and if you don't need any help with it at all, but next Friday will be the build breakdown video. I'm going to do the build breakdown and first drive video on Friday, and that's going to correspond with the 2,000 subscriber giveaway, actually, at the same time. So the official day of the 2,000 subscriber giveaway is December 9th. So tune in. Tune in for the regular Friday upload, December 9th. If you want to be there for the premiere of it with Mike, because he's a madman and he's up at these times. Although maybe not. I guess it depends on whether or not you'll probably be healthy. You'll be back to it by then.
No, I will be.
Okay.
No, but
okay. But it'll be 5:30
Yeah.
a.m. MST. That's when we're doing the live premiere. It's a live premiere, Jan, of a just a regular VOD, just a regular video. So it's not a live stream. But yeah, the build breakdown and first run video for the C3 with all the Phoenix parts basically will be next week. And
nice. Yeah, I'm just up at that crazy hour because I take the train to work, and so I get to sit there and watch his video.
This is literally
pretty fun.
why I released the video at 5:30, or why I started releasing the video at 5:30 was for you and for Luke. Both Sons of Crawl and Scumbag RC have to be up and at work early in the morning, and so I
That's
posted
funny.
early. I figure
Now I
you
feel
guys
like
aren't.
I
I
have
feel
to.
like you guys aren't the only ones, you know, and
Well,
you
yeah,
obviously
we got
aren't.
Mike
By the
Bird, too.
time
Mike Bird.
I wake up, usually 40 or 50 people have watched the video. Y'all are dedicated, because I can tell you for a matter of fact, I am not awake at that time. I'm just not.
As of lately, you have. Just kidding.
I have been getting up earlier. I gotta say, when you're sick and you're going to bed at like 8:30 at night, 7:30 at night, 6:30 at night,
Oh,
you wake
cheers.
up pretty early.
We'll do another cheers.
Dude, I brought the thermos over here so I could have multiple refills of hot water.
I think I'm just gonna tell the wife right now. I need a refill. Can you give me some more water, hot water, honey?
Too good.
Nice. And then we got Jalopy Garage 515 every day here. I hear you, dude.
Yeah. I don't know.
So
Jane Darcy's, if you have started building your C3, I'm curious to hear your comments down below. If you think, and do we are, okay, they are showing up on there. Guys, I really wish that I could figure out a way to make the YouTube comments or the live stream comments appear on the video for longer than just like a 5-second period before they disappear. I can't figure it out. So I just have this stream open so that I can actually watch the comments as they come in, like on the side of the stream. So if you're looking to see what comments we're talking about, they're on the side of the stream. And the live replay of the comments is available after the fact as well. But Jay and Darcy's, I'm curious to hear your guys' thought. You say you're building the C3 with the VFD twin on difficulty wise. If you felt it was difficult, if you felt it was super easy, just what your thoughts were on it. I'm not going to give my thoughts on it just yet. Because those are coming on Friday along with the entire video, but I'm kind of curious to see what you guys think. But Captain Jack build with the Interceptor chassis and the VFD twin, yes, super, super cool. I'm going to pull. We'll do that later. Oh, goodness. I almost just knocked my tea over. Oh,
all right.
That would have been so bad.
What do you got?
The stream would have ended real quick. Oh, yeah.
3D printer part of the week.
It's nothing too crazy. I built a lot of stuff for. I printed a lot of stuff for my 3D garage. My 3D garage, my scale garage. My brain's turning off.
Your 3D scale garage.
My 3D scale garage. My scale garage has been 3D printed. Not the garage, but many of the parts of it.
Okay, Mr. Technical, what do you got?
This is a palette, a little scale palette that I found online, which is actually kind of hard to see. Like,
There you go. That's
yeah,
better.
it's a little bit better.
There
It's
it
got
is. There it
like,
is.
it's like pretty surprisingly detailed. It was
Did
kind of
you
a pain
find
in the
that on?
butt to get all the supports out.
Did you find it at Thingiverse?
Yes, I
Or
found it on Thingiverse. I'll post a link down in the description after we're done. But yeah, I thought it actually came out really well because if you 3D print it normally with just like a normal 20% infill or whatever, the pattern that it puts on it, for some reason, I think it's just the sizing of the specifically 1/10 scale palette. It makes it look like wood grain, like the
nice.
actual 3D print design looks like wood grain.
Did you use regular supports? Or did you tree it?
I just use regular supports. Yep. I should have done tree or like lightning supports because you didn't need as much support as it printed. But
I have not used the lightning. I haven't heard about those yet.
those are supposed to be, like even more efficient than tree supports.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I'm printing one right. Well, I'll go on to my part first, and then I'll tell you about that one.
Okay.
So mine was, I forgot where this is. It was free because I rarely buy 3D printed files. I like the free stuff. If it's really cool, I'll buy it. Fire hydrant.
Ooh, or a fire extinguisher, not hydrant.
Fire extinguisher, excuse me.
Like just have an actual hydrant attached to your truck.
Yeah, fire extinguisher. It's just a little one, kind of old school with a little spray one. It's not really
I
scale.
like that with the like actual spray nozzle. That's cool.
Yeah. The one I'm printing now is I'm doing a dash for Luke, Scumbag RC. His new G-Speed rig. We're gonna throw one of those Harley cages in there.
Oh, nice. Did Harley just release that for free?
No, it's like $2.
Oh, that's not bad at all. Okay.
Yeah, and you get the seats. I think the seats are included with it.
Guys,
dash and stuff.
If you haven't been paying attention to all of Harley's like 3D printing and CAD design escapades, especially recently, holy crap, man. The battery compartment.
No, did you watch the last one with the 3D scanner from Creality?
Yeah. Oh yeah, where he scanned the body. Yeah. Brilliant.
Ooh.
Yeah. Super cool.
I mean, just like
he is lucky where he has CAD models of all of the stuff that he wants to build already or build around. Like when he wants to build something around a Phoenix or around a VS410 Pro, he has the CAD models for the entire truck. Whereas most people have to figure that out themselves and redesign it. So to have that scanner, that's going to be cool. That's going to be a really cool product, I think, as it gets more affordable.
So he has the interior for the Power Wagon. He's going to do an interior and roll cage for the Cliffhanger. Mr. High Noon Hobby.
I do like
the
Cliffhanger.
And then he's going to do also one for the last video he did was the Element. What is it called? The Enduro, the yellow one, whatever that thing is.
The Enduro.
Is it like their, yeah, it's Enduro. It's like their version of the Power Wagon.
I think it's the Enduro. Someone will correct us down below. The yellow one. I'm pretty sure it's the Enduro. Let's see. Everyone's just given the times that they wake up. Easier than the Captain Jack build for the C3. Nice. Okay, sweet. Well, that is good. That is very good. I will say it probably wasn't. Well, that's kind of surprising. Easier than a Interceptor chassis, like I guess in the sense of like setup and everything, it would be easier because there's a lot less like tuning that has to be done to make it work right, and there's a lot less knowledge of like link placement and stuff like that because it kind of just comes together. Ecto, hey, Mike Bird, thank you very much for your contributions.
So we also got the tree supports in 3D printing for is external. The lightning are internal.
Yep. So exactly. So Cameron used those lightning supports on like a TPU model, so that it can still flex even if it has supports in it. It's like just support to get it built, but it doesn't really add like an infill to it, if that makes sense. Like it can be very,
Interesting.
very lightweight infill, or not a lightweight infill, but like a lightweight support mechanism on the inside that doesn't act like infill. I'm going to stop there because it's going to get too complex if I try to keep
Yeah.
describing it any more than that. Okay, well, I have other 3D printed stuff, but I just have like parts of 3D printed
Nope.
stuff because I need to switch out. No pieces?
Don't show,
Look,
don't show them because
Look.
you can use it for another time.
that's a good point. It's a good
You know
point.
how
Well,
much
I
crap
still
give
have
you if
other
you don't
stuff.
have a part.
I still have other stuff that I'm trying to print, and I'm really trying to go through all the I'm trying to do all the PLA plus stuff that I want first, and then I'm switching over to the PLA because I have the PLA in red and a couple other
If I
colors.
could show you the stack of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different rolls of 3D filament that I'm going back and forth through right now, because all these people suddenly wanted projects from me, and I was like,
That sounds fucking awful. Dude, I
Yeah,
honestly probably the biggest. It's not even that hard. I don't know. Why do I hate it so much? I
don't know,
hate
dude.
switching filaments so much.
it's so easy.
I hate it. I don't understand why. It's like
maybe because you know what it is. I think it's
it feels
'cause
like
you
a
have-
waste. I have a depression baby mentality, and it feels like a waste. Like extruding to get the color to change. I'm like, oh, it hurts my heart as
By
I'm
the
doing it.
way, it extrudes this much out of
Yeah, it's like 3 millimeters out of a kilogram
like-
roll.
a kilogram roll.
But if you
of-
do it a lot, that
okay.
adds up, man.
Yeah. By the way, he's crying right now about a roll this big, and he's wasting that much, if that.
That's why I said depression baby. All right, I got fucking weird syndrome going on.
Hey, watch your mouth, mister.
You're not a depression baby either.
I'm just making fun of you. All right.
Goodness.
Let's see what else we got up there.
That's too funny. Jay and Darcy's had to make your own servo mounts on the servo mounts. Oh, because you had to do a VFD on the. I didn't even think about that. In the shift, on the sliders for the shift servos, and then 2 different battery trays. I'm curious about the servo mounts on the sliders. If that's like a 3D printed file or something. If that isn't widely available, it should be, and if I can help it be, that would be super cool. Harley uses his engineer's knowledge to make sure it works. Tom, thank you. Appreciate your comment there. Yes, Harley is like a legitimate engineer, and we are not. I am not. I'm not going to speak for anyone else, but
I'm not. He's smarter than I am. We got Jalopy Garage. Yeah, I'll get another tire chalk printed for you, brother. The Woods Runner is pretty awesome. That's the name of Harley's rig. And we're caught up there. Okay.
Nice. This is the Woods
So,
Runner
hey,
3, for anyone who's wondering.
Didn't tell you because you were busy getting stuff ready. I have a name for our segment that we're about to talk about right now.
What is the name?
It's called Pop the Hood.
Ah, I like that.
Pop the hood.
Pop the hood. I need to work on like a little effect that I can play.
Pop the hood.
Do like a
Dude,
little.
can you get me one of those little iPads that I can play noises while
Dude,
we're doing
I
this
legitimately.
stuff? Oh, ladies and gentlemen, this will be next level. He doesn't even want to know what I'll do with that thing.
I have this that I don't even use.
Ooh.
And this is like, these are all touch buttons. This is for anyone who is interested in like streaming or editing photos or videos. This one's more video centric, but this is the Loop Deck. That's not plugged in. So this is actually a screen. So all these buttons you can program all these buttons in. And I do have this programmed for live streaming. I just don't use it for this live stream because it's not a very complicated live stream. So we're not like doing a whole bunch. We're swapping between like 2 different scenes and that's it.
So we're going to do a little Pop the Hood segment, and it might evolve into a whole segment where we show a bunch of our rigs, or maybe just once a rig. once a week. We'll figure it out. See what you guys think.
Right. So Pop the Hood, our new segment that I just learned the name of, is essentially where we just go through a rig, maybe multiple rigs, but a rig, and we really try to break down what is going on with the rig, our like decision making process with choosing certain parts, placing certain parts in certain areas, the whole kit and caboodle, basically trying to arming you with as much knowledge as possible so that it's easy for you to put together your next build. And holy crap, my tires must have been to the Uintas recently because they are like all scrunched up.
Scrunchy, huh?
Yeah, I think maybe I left it out in the cold and then I brought it back inside, and so the air like expanded and contracted. But interesting, very interesting. So would you like me to go? Am I going through mine first, or are we going through?
Yeah, let's go through yours first.
Okay.
I was just going to give a little prelude.
Yeah, prelude it.
Basically, there's different ways you can go with comp rigs, and comp rigs is what we're going to go over this time. This is Alex comp rig. This is my main comp rig. You can do it in different ways. You can go super budget, go super cheap. I've seen people buy $7 carbon fiber rails. I've seen people buy $300 pair of rails. Maybe driver mod makes a big difference in those two, because we talked about a little while ago. I heard that the guy that won National Sorka last year ran a Red Cat, and yep. I don't think a lot of people even run that rig in the comps. I
don't think many people
know of.
Yeah. I don't think many people think of that as a performance rig in any light, yet alone in the comp scene.
But it's how you set up your rig and how you work with your rig. I always believe a rig should kind of evolve, and the more it evolves, it might be done after a while and be crisp, 100%. You don't want to touch it; it's just good, but it will give you an idea for your next comp rig.
Right.
And so this, I'd kind of believe in both of our rigs, we kind of attacked it differently, where these are bargain rigs. You get not spending a huge amount of money.
Mine is spending an immensely small amount of money, really.
And then I'm kind of about that mid-level to maybe a little more, just because of what parts I put in.
Right.
But why don't we show yours first and go gadget go.
Yeah. I'm kind of curious what the best way is going to be to try to show it. I might just kind of hold it near my face. I think that's probably going to be the best.
Yeah, it works.
But anyone who's familiar knows that this is a SCX 10.2 chassis. This would be like you could just go buy an SCX 10.2 builder's kit and you would have pretty much the exact same thing. I am waiting to hold it up there because I want to look at it before I start listing off, just to make sure I'm not forgetting anything. Yeah, okay. So SCX 10.2, you could get an SCX 10.2 builder's kit and have basically all the same stuff except for the Rock Pirates bits. So I did the Rock Pirates front and rear SCX 10.2 shock towers and the Rock Pirates sliders for the SCX 10.2, and they make...
Why do you like those?
I like these for a variety of different reasons. One of the biggest reasons is whatever coating they use on this is incredible. It's like super slidey, slippy amazingness. And so it slides over rocks really well. They're really flat and flush to the chassis, and so they don't like hang up on stuff. And they're also like all the edges are chamfered that are basically going to be showing.
Yeah, because on a regular 10.2, the sliders, they have a lot of ridges on them.
Yeah. They're not very ideal for comping. So if you're going to go comping, doing some sort of your own slider, or the Rock Pirates sliders are cheap and easy and they bolt right on. So this is basically like just a Rock Pirates 10.2 is what most people I think would refer to it as. It's just Rock Pirates the shock mounts on the front and the back, the Rock Pirates slider, and and the Rock Pirates, I did the dual servo mount, and I'm using the dual servo mount right now as just a single servo mount for the steering servo, and then I put the battery next to the other side. One of the reasons that I like the dual steering servo is just because of how heavy it is. Adding that weight up front, I think, helps with a rig that's this light.
I really like the rigidity of it.
I do like the rigidity of it as well.
front of that really, really strong.
Super strong. Yep, I do agree, and it ties in with those front shock mounts, the rock tire or the shock towers from Rock Pirates, which is super nice. So you don't have to do any sort of modification there at all. It just works, which is really
I really
nice.
like the Rock Pirates Panhard mount on that too.
Yes.
The Panhard mount on a 10-2, the usually
hard to
one you
see.
get is a plastic one that's built onto the shock tower.
This one is a
This
metal
one
one that comes off of
relocates it
that.
also and pulls it back.
Yep.
So it gives a lot more swing for your servo.
Yep. It just basically is good. It's better in every way than the stock Panhard mount or than the stock suspension setup in general, suspension and link setup. So if you haven't tried Rock Pirates, I would definitely recommend doing it. They just released the Interceptor chassis too. So if you didn't want to start from a C-rail chassis, you could start from a flat rail chassis and still have all of the same setup. Basically, you could have all the same mounting points and everything could be exactly the same.
You can take your stock skid plate, everything, and swap it right over to the chassis.
Which, funnily enough, this is literally still a stock skid plate. Speaking of things that hang up, this probably should get replaced for a 3D printed low profile skid plate, but I haven't done that yet, and I haven't really needed to. And I mean, it's worked well this season. I somehow haven't broken a link on this truck this season either, or like a link end. So this is all just stock links, stock skid. Axles are all totally stock, no overdrive, no underdrive. This is a axial 3-gear transmission with stock axial drive shafts. Obviously, it's the.
Do you have the stock pinion on there too?
It is, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, let's double check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Probably about a 14 or 15,
10,
right?
11. I think it's a 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 12? I think 12.
Yep, that's
I think
smaller.
that's. Is it smaller? Smaller than stock? So that would have been
I think 14.
That would have been a scumbag thing, but that makes sense because it's not the stock electronics. So it's got a Hobbywing 1080. So if you're looking for a cheap, easy ESC, Hobbywing 1080 all day long, right? I mean, that's
all day long.
All day long.
When you're going brushed, they're pretty sweet for the price and the tunability.
Yep.
The one thing I like about even a 1080, even over my 2-in-1 Fusion, the original, I have to say I don't have the new one, is that even the 1080 has more tuning options than the Fusion does, and that's a brushless motor.
Yep. Yeah, this thing's it's got a ton of tuning options. It's like it's resilient as all hell. I've never personally broken one or seen one break in real life. I've seen pictures of them pop the capacitor occasionally.
I've had some people have problems with them, but it's when you start putting a lot of pressure on them, a lot of weight, when it's really draining them. I mean, any electronics that you put through the ringer is going to do something in the end.
Well, and you got to think like this receiver costs less than, or this receiver costs more than the ESC.
That's because we decided to jump down the spectrum black hole receivers, bud.
But that's what I'm saying. Like the fact that performs as well as it does for $20 less than the receiver is freaking crazy. The most expensive part.
Hold on, what's connected to that ESC there?
Yes. So the Hobbywing 1080, and then it's the Reedy Power Radon 20-tooth 5-turn motor. So it's just a basic ass brushed motor. The Reedy Power is really nice. I have heard great things about them from a lot of people. They're like specifically crawler brushed motors.
But you can rebuild it, right? Correct.
You can rebuild them.
Rebuildable.
Yep, you can rebuild them. I haven't had to rebuild it. It still is super smooth, and everything seems to be working well for me as of right now. But next season, we'll see if we stick with the brushed system. If we do, I think I'm going to stick with this exact same motor. It's done really, really well for me. If I need to rebuild it, I will. But yeah, that's just direct soldered on. On comp rigs specifically, and this is kind of just a thing for me on comp rigs, not necessarily on anything else, but I try to avoid motor connectors on comp rigs and just go direct solder on everything. You like the fewer places that things can fail on comp rigs, I think the better, generally speaking. So as much as you can
I'm
solder stuff together, that's how
I'm
I would
either
say.
or. I'm either
I
or
get I
because
get the idea of quick disconnect. Even though it adds a failure point, it also makes it easy if something does fail to swap it out. So like if your motor fails, you can swap it out a lot faster. But also, I don't know what a lot faster is to you. Like I can, even if we're out in the middle of the desert, I can solder a motor in like 5 minutes. So
well, I could probably, it's all right. I'll do it in two.
oh, all right then.
Well, I won't solder it. I'll just disconnect my bolt connectors. So there's two ways with the motors that we're talking about. It's not like it's Einstein RC stuff, but you use where is one? I think I have one here.
And
There's
then
like these little silver bullet connectors, like the ones that usually you
I've got some
find
right
at
here.
the end of your
like
yeah, they're little connectors that you can just
kind of hard to
solder
see.
onto your wires and then your motor, and then plug those in and out. And I used to do it because for a while I was trading motors a lot of different brush motors, trying them out in my comp rigs, and yeah, it was an easy way to do things on the run.
Yeah, it is definitely nice. It's easier, but if you're looking for reliability on your connections, I think that is something for people to consider. If they're looking for something to definitely not have that ability to disconnect, just solder it. And if it disconnects, it really broke.
And then what else you got, bud?
We've
What else you got
got
on that rig?
before, yeah. So, I mean, I kind of skipped. We'll go back to the shocks in a second, but the last piece of the electronics, I've got the
Isn't there a
NSD
story behind that
behind this servo.
servo? How I basically made you install it down in
Oh
St.
yeah,
George one
yeah.
time?
Well, so for 6 months, 8 months,
Yeah.
I was using just a 25 kg, like a brand that no one can pronounce, an Amazon servo.
Amazon Special.
In fact, the funny part is I even referred to it in several videos as the Savox servo, and it wasn't even a Savox servo. Like I was giving it even more credit than was due because it wasn't even a Savox. It was like some
So
Chinese 25 kg.
we were down in St. George, staying at my in-laws' summer house, and we were down in this little wash down the street. And we went out one day, and I just watched him do these lines, and I was walking them because I could kind of jiggle wiggle my rig over and settle my back end of my rig down faster, and kind of like react into lines a little faster. And he was coming up behind me, and Alec was keeping up, but he just didn't have that reaction time. And my brain is just sitting there like, oh my gosh, it's your servo, bro. Like, you're not in the same world that we could be. So that night we walked back to the house, and I just looked at him. I was like, "You have that new servo, don't you?" He's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "You're installing it right now." We went back out, and he started crushing lines because he had that reaction.
Yeah,
When you have a fast servo and you're able to wiggle your front end and really move your back end, it does a lot of things when you're trying to work around rocks and
for
up
sure.
cracks and things like that.
For
So
sure. It definitely
continue. Sorry.
is less of a budget, right? I mean, like
Well,
it.
but the thing is that your budget, you've saved all your money so you could spend your money on your servo.
Yeah, that's true. And that's what I was kind of going to say is like if you're on a budget, it's about picking and choosing where you spend that money so that that really counts. And I think if you're going to say like where do you want to where should you on a comp rig like a budget comp rig, where should you spend the money? I would say the money should be in the servo so that you have that reaction time and tires, like foams and tires, because
Yep.
that's like that makes the biggest difference. That's what's impacting, or that's the only thing on your rig that's touching the ground. So, or should be. the only thing.
And then on your tires, what tires are you running?
Yeah, so to kind of go back into suspension and tires, we're running Desert Lizards. I believe that these are 90 mil, so pretty standard size Desert Lizards. I'm running some D's bands on the backside of them. You can kind of judge for yourself. I'm running them like about midway on the shock towers, both front and rear. So on the back, that means that it's got a pretty substantial angle. On the front, that means it doesn't have too much of an angle in terms of suspension camber or suspension angle. The tires are Proline crawlers. They're the TAKO2s or K2. They're the crawlers with the K.
Yeah, the crawlers.
Yep.
Yeah.
And they are actually using like a weird dual stage foam that I knew at one point, but now I don't remember. Is that what it is? The one with the hard stage on the outside instead of on the inside? Yeah, it's weird.
Interesting.
Dual stage crawler foams. If someone knows, they're the ones that they're kind of like they're kind of ridgy on the outside.
While you look that up, I'm just gonna get a call out to a couple people right here. Looks like Tom Baker has an Artful Dodgers chassis that looks good for the VFD.
I think they are the Crawler Innovations.
Yeah, so the Crawler Innovations,
the Deuces Wild ones.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And then Jay and Darcy's RC Adventure, they used Reef 99 servos and the mounts.
Oh, I was gonna call that out. Yeah, so they use the micro servos and they countersunk the holes for the micro servos into the sliders so that they could just run their VFD transmission off of micro servos. That's cool. I actually think that is a very if you have like pictures of that, definitely share them or find some way to share them because that sounds really cool. The Artful Dodger chassis. Looking good for the VFD. I don't know if you already called that out, but I'm going to have to check that one out.
And then Tom Baker, the DXT2 tires, what we think about them, those are the new Vanquish
tires. Those are the new Vanquish ones, yep.
Haven't had a chance to play with them much. I'm always sold on my Swampers and my Crawlers.
I have heard good things about these VXT2s. I have not personally run them yet, but I have heard good things about them. So hopefully I'll get my hands on them in the next few weeks here, and I'll be able to give a better opinion on what I think about those VXT2s.
And then we got Jay and Darcy's RC Adventure again. Artful Dodgers bumper with Fairlead and their Landacre are very good products. Yes. I've heard a lot of things. I'm looking into their flat skid for my 10-2 actually.
Mike Bird is watching the World Cup right now. Very nice, very nice. We got
knocked out.
Freaking slapped yesterday, man. God,
that sucked.
That did suck. You know what's funny too is my buddy he nailed it on the final score. He called it before the game even started. That was pretty sad.
Jay and Darcy's, the VX2 tires did not perform as well as the Proline Crawlers. A nice beat-in pair of Crawlers / Super Swampers, either one. They are so nice.
Yes.
I love them. So nice. They just, the more beat-in they get, the more sticky they get. Tom Baker Wonders. And then, Ryan Cadota, we got as much, I changed his motors as much as them. With the bullets for the win for sure.
Using the Three Brothers dual stage anti-foams with the tuning rods with good results.
Yeah. My thing was my.
I know. I gotta take you. I gotta take you off of comment reading, dude.
No, my phone was freezing up.
Oh wow, your video went away. Or did you do that on purpose?
Oh, sorry.
You're good. What was I going to say about that? Oh, with the mic, I will, oh no, that's just showing over there now. I will chant and pray for your team now since we're knocked out. So Mike, we're rooting for England now. And then the Three Brothers Dual Stage Antifoams, I've heard good things about those as well.
Yes. I run a couple of other 3D printed foams. One of our local boys. I still run some of his stuff. And yeah.
Yeah.
All right. What else we got on there? Anything?
That's basically it, man. I mean, the Desert Lizards are tuned with the kind of West Desert Wheeler tuning, if you will. So it's not a full droop setup by any means, especially with the D's bands on there now. I would say it's probably about half droop. And I could go into a whole video about suspension tuning, so I won't give you too much detail there, but they are the Desert Lizards. They are tuned kind of specifically for a lighter rig, a lighter comp style rig. Amazon Chanquish wheels, Proline tires, Crawler Innovations, dual stage foams, Axial 3 gear, Reedy Power, brushed motor with the 1080, NSDRC, RS800, and Rock Pirates bits. That's what you put all those in a pot, you stir it up, and you got a comp rig.
Also, all of that is very easy to put together.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
those
Rock Pirates are just basically screw right on. Use the same screws on most of them.
Yep.
It's nice.
Yeah, it's all super easy to use. It's super easy to throw. Like I've just put, and honestly, this is just the solution that Luke came up with that I stuck with, where you just take the stock body mount posts, you cut them, and you just drill a hole through them wherever you need them height-wise on the Rock Pirate shock towers and call it a day. So you don't even have to buy anything fancy for the shock tower or for the mounting, for the body mounting. Now they do sell, Rock Pirates does sell nice body mounting solutions that honestly I would probably recommend because these things are trash and they come loose like constantly. I constantly have to like tighten the body posts, the body mount posts so that they stay where they're supposed to be and so that they're relatively easy to get on the body. And everyone knows the body that I use is just Cliffhanger, just Proline Cliffhanger. Nothing special there. Just chopped to bits in the front so that I can have as much steering angle as possible.
That's what you do.
Definitely not Sorka.
Not Sorka, but north versus south wise.
Yeah, this is north versus south legal. In terms of what I'd like to do for this upcoming season on my rig, really, I don't want to change too much about this rig because I actually do like it quite a bit. But as I was mentioning, I may go to a brushless setup just to get a little bit more control, but I don't necessarily feel like I need it, and I could probably spare that brushless setup for something that does need it a little bit more. But besides that, I do want to do a new body just so that it looks a little bit better and paint it and stuff. And
nice.
Yeah, maybe some like hardcore links. That's about it.
Yeah.
Just to get a little more clearance on the rear end. The links.
A winch.
Links are. Oh, and a winch. Yeah, I do. I already have a winch. That's why I forgot that. Is because it's like something I feel like I've already done. But yeah, putting a winch on it because I have that dual servo mount, and I also have the battery tray.
Yeah. If you do the winch, do that Rock Pirates. If you're to do the Rock Pirates theme, they just came out with that roof rack.
Oh yeah, totally. Well, and I have so many of those roof racks from other people that are the carbon fiber ones. I feel like I have to use someone else. Like I have yours. Yeah. I have a slut one. I think I have a nerds one. Like I need to rep somebody.
Make sure you put one on there.
Yeah, for sure. Little G spot.
Yeah, a little G spot up there. Because I'll tell you, that is one thing on comp rigs, and I'll get into that. Mine is the G spot. Anyways, so his was the 10-2 bargain rig. He definitely spent his money in the places where he wanted to, servo, and a couple other things. Didn't go full cheap, but still saved him a bunch of money. Mm-hmm. My rig, I spent money, but I spent it where I wanted to spend it. So My top, I just use the deadbolt.
Nice.
Um, really easy. Uh, comes with a roll cage. I like how it rolls. I like how it's really misses things. You don't have rocks catching the front of your body or the back of your body.
It's kind of
It's
like
nice
pinched
and
and
flat
dovetailed right from the
right from
factory
the get
almost.
go.
Yeah.
So you just cut up your wheel wells and make it legal. Um, Last year, it was, from what I know, it was Sorka legal. Got me some points, but this year we'll figure that out. Um, I run a G Speed.
Very
I
nice.
I bought this package a little while ago from one of our friends because he had every color in the book and kind of gave me this whole orange theme. This is a rig named after our friend Scumbag RC. It's called the Ginger Demon because he's a ginger, and I like naming my rigs funny things. I don't usually name any of my rigs that good of names, but this one is kind of stuck. So I love to 3D print, and I wanted to save money on a lot of things because once you start adding, after you buy, the chassis rails, it does come with, your skid and your sliders, but also you have to sometimes keep buying sliders if you want to try different ones. So I decided to save that money and 3D print my own.
And I actually really like the design of your sliders.
So these are not my design. These are one of the guys up north. He gave me a file, and it's a guy out of Montana or something, or no, it's back east. Back east. I forgot his name. I don't sell these ever. I only give these out to our friends. I don't make money off of them. I just really like how they work, other than the GC sliders. And the reason why I'll show you is this is a regular G Speed slider, right? Actually,
Right.
this is a 3D printed one that has same features, everything, but it has a battery strap.
Right.
Um, when you're going across rocks, the slider on the bottom has that nice square forward right there,
Yeah.
the forward front feature. And basically, I've watched my G Speed hit a rock and just
Just,
360 right
just
around
pivot
it.
around the whole thing on the slider. Yep. Doesn't even make it up to the position where it can slide on it.
These ones go right up with the rail,
Yep.
another like probably, I don't know, centimeter or more. And it really makes a difference. It
Right.
The transition between my wheels and the rocks, it really has to be a hell of a rock to get up in between here.
Yeah, there's no way. Yeah.
So I really like these. Um, they're nice. I have a battery strap if I ever want to put my battery over here on the other side. I do use these dual lock tape that you can buy at a lot of hardware stores. That's how I strap all my
I
electronics
forgot to
down.
mention. Yeah, I just use like a regular Velcro strap for mine.
Yeah. And so then, you go into how do you want to mount your servo? And I found a cheap file just on Thingiverse. It's a lay down servo mount. And then I actually bought this. This is a mount for my micro winch. This is from JJ Customs. He's a guy that designs a lot of stuff for G Speed and I think is on the G Speed team. Scumbag RC hooked me up with him, and it's a whole micro winch setup where it mounts between the shock towers, and then also has this nice little hose coming down, and then has a mount that goes on the front of your forward, or excuse me, your lay down servo mount,
To keep
and
the
then
winch line
the
straight.
winch line nice and straight, and then it comes out here. I do want to find a fair lead option so it keeps me in the middle of my bumper.
Yeah, you got to find something that'll work with that link bumper.
I just haven't quite got there yet. Please don't mind my horrible wiring job. I'm not the best at hiding wires. So, also, when we go to the front bumper, I found these on Thingiverse. These are actually from a local gentleman that recently just passed away, one of our good friends, 002 Garage. Um, he put these up on Thingiverse, and they're pretty sweet. You just print the sides here. Is
Little
this
L.
better light if I do this? Yeah,
Mm,
it's a little better.
yeah, it's better on the car at that angle.
So I printed these, and basically they inlay with the bumper, so it protects my carbon fiber rails.
Right. The chassis itself actually sits inside, like sits
Yep,
inlaid into those little L
inlaid right
brackets.
there. And then these are 70 millimeter links. The only ones that I found are these G-made ones that you order offline. You
Probably
can
order
find them
like a
on
kit of
AMade.
them, I'm guessing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can order. I think they're like 2 or 4 at a time. And I put them on the front and back. This is actually a front bumper. I just like how it looks,
Yeah. Why not?
and it still gives me the
Still
points,
exactly.
at
Still
least
giving
on
you the
here.
points.
Um, then we go into my axles. I run AR-45s
Nice.
because I really like the clearance.
Yeah.
Um, and then I run hardcore RC links. These
Again, some serious clearance on those links.
you want as much clearance as I can, and I usually don't run the titanium ones. I think these are actually the stainless. Never mind, never mind. I thought these were the titanium ones, but that's on my other kit.
Right.
Um, I really like the high clearance. It gives you plenty of room between tire and everything. If you can find it where you don't see much drive shaft in your front or back, you got great clearance.
That's how it should. Yeah, if your links are clearing where your skid is clearing, then you basically have optimal link clearance.
Yep.
You can't get any more than your skid plate clearance.
So then we go the Vader skid plate that just comes on most G speeds in the kit. Which I really like. I also, on one of my other comp rigs, I run. Where are you? Where are you?
We're breaking down another comp rig.
Oh, I'm just showing. There's these Vader skid plates online for free.
Ah.
That's the 3 gear.
And it's adjustable, right?
It's adjustable, so you have the 3 gear holes and the 2 low holes.
Right. That's what it is.
So it's really nice. It's the exact same Vader skid plate. Please, spend your money with Vader, but if you're really, on a budget, you can get these off Thingiverse for free.
Yep. Well, if you have a 3D printer.
If you have a 3D printer
or
a
a friend. Yep, you got to have a friend.
So, yeah. So I have a bunch of 3D printed parts, and that adds up. With all these different parts, it made it so I could spend money where I need to spend on this rig.
Right.
We'll start with my wheels. These are Team Garage Hack version 1 wheels. The reason why I like these is they are comp cut, which means they suck right up into that tire.
Yeah, look at how close that tire is sitting to the inside of that.
That
or
makes
to the
it
top
so
of that
really,
axle.
That makes it really skinny, my width of my tires. That way I can push through the gates a lot skinnier instead of using a regular tire, which offsets a lot further out, and so your tire is further out.
Right.
So I spent money on those. I really like them. These carbon rings are Punk 3D customs.
Nice.
Just so they can match. I got them in the whole set. Then we'll go into my electronics. This is my transmission. My transmission also came with this package deal from a friend, but it's a great comping transmission. This is the Team Garage Hack 2-Low. Has 30% overdrive. The reason why I like it, because it's low profile, brings your center of gravity down, gives you that overdrive you want, not too much, not too little.
Yep.
And, really shaves those ounces off a rig and puts it where you want it. Connected to that transmission, this is where I start really spending my money, is where I go the Holmes Hobby Polar Stubby V2. It's the 27 kV, 2700. I really like it. It's smooth. It I've never had any kind of, problems with it. I put it through the ringer. I bind my tires. Um, it's a pretty sweet motor,
And
and it's nice
you
and
run
short.
3S on that, correct? With the
Yes,
2700. Okay.
yes. I only run 3S on it. I think it's 4S compatible. Don't quote me on that.
Yeah,
Please
I would
check
imagine
it
just because
first.
based off the KV, probably.
I run a 50 tooth, just regular axial spur gear,
Hmm.
and then actually this is the stock um, axial
Really?
pinion. Yeah,
Okay.
don't run anything smaller. I have enough low end
Right.
with my tune and my motor that it's just fine.
Okay.
Moving on to my ESC, I run the Copperhead.
All right.
Um,
Got Copperhead in a
it,
few
I
rigs.
I want to say the Copperhead. It's a great ESC.
Yeah.
I've transferred it between a couple of my rigs, and it ended up on this one.
Copperhead is typically known for being really great for sensorless, brushless, right?
Yes, uncensored. The Copperhead is not really a fan.
Right. Right.
Um, I've heard you kind of want to go with other ones, maybe like a Sidewinder. I ran a lot of uncensored
Oh,
motors
that's what it is. Okay, the Sidewinder's good
with
with
the
the
Sidewinder or the
sensorless.
Mamba
Okay.
X. I'm actually going over to our local hobby shop to get a tune from our
Hey,
friend
nice.
Sunshine RC on Tuesday.
I
To
have this of yours.
oh
Sorry about that.
it's weird. Yeah, it's kind of how I brought that up, and it's
Yeah.
weird how I brought that up and you had
Yeah.
that.
Sorry about that.
It's kind of a yeah. I commented the other day and said you had that. I was swearing at him when I was sick. I was just like, "Damn you, Alec! I want to do something with my RCs and I can't."
I know. I took his Castle Link and then I got sick right after. It was perfect. It was perfect.
And he didn't even
Let
use
me.
it.
I did. I tuned all my rigs. Well, most of my rigs were already tuned, but I went back
That's
through and
funny.
cleared the data logs on everything.
Yeah. Just still have the housing on there. I did take off the fan. I've never had my ESC overheat. Also, this rig probably doesn't go more than 10 minutes
That's
at
the
a
thing.
time.
Yeah, that's the thing about comp rigs. When you're doing 8-minute runs and then you're unplugging the battery, you don't need a fan.
So then we move up to. I have realized that I've been really starting to use a lot of their servos. Three Brothers RC
They're nice.
makes the G14 servo. This baby I have put through the ringer. It is my original servo from, man, I've been comping for about 2 years with it now.
Oh
I've
wow.
pushed it through my original G Speed, my Phoenix. I think it's also been in my G Shot before. And I want to say it was also in Ron for a second, my 10-2. And people have all watched me drive this rig. I have beat the living tar out of it, and it just keeps on coming back.
Yeah.
Hasn't slowed down. It's really strong. I think I, maybe went through a servo horn on it. That's about it.
Nice. Nice.
Um, but it's rated to, I think, over a, let's see, I want to say it's rated at over 1,000 ounces of torque if you really use some of those higher ounce batteries. I think I use about 600 or 700 on 3S on it.
Right.
So really tough servo, really strong. Um, can really move my back end wherever I need it to be. And that's the, let's see. We can go,
Shocks.
what was that?
I'm trying to think of what else there is. You covered links. You covered so you got like shocks
So
left.
then I have, we'll go on to my other electronics right
Oh
here.
yep.
I have the NSDRC micro winch,
The
which
micro 100.
yeah, and I really like it. This little guy's pretty tough.
Is that what it is? NSDRC micro.
Okay, I got it from someone, so I don't know really what it is.
Is it NSD?
Yeah.
Oh, RS 100. There it is. The
Yeah, the
RS
RS
100.
100.
They're all the 100 torque spec
He's,
basically.
he's a tough little sucker. I'll tell you that. He pulls this guy around just fine.
Right, right.
So those are my electronics. I run a Spectrum receiver because we both jumped down the rabbit hole, which is, by the way, if you guys are just starting out,
Do Fly
just
Sky.
let you know,
Get
get a Fly Sky. They do just the same. Spectrum
Do it at
receivers,
like a sixth
by
of
the
the
time
cost.
yeah, by the time you spend a couple Spectrum receivers, you just bought a whole new remote.
Straight up, like with all the receivers and all my rigs right here, I could build another rig.
Yep.
Yeah.
Easy.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, I wanted to also announce that on these links there, these are still here for you, Scumbag RC. These little pieces of tape, I've never taken them off. They've only let them wear off, and these are the indicators of where your links go. I just love keeping them on because it drives me crazy.
I'm not gonna say that
It does.
it's bad.
It's bad. It drives him nuts. Anyways, now I'll go into my shocks. My shock setup is not my usual setup. These are Desert Lizards. Cameron from the Nerds basically stole my comp rig right before the comp at Proline by the Fire. Just ripped my shocks right off because I was using big bores incorrectly. I'll give him that. And made me try a new shock setup. So I haven't really fallen in love with these. These are not my usual. If I don't like them, I have a pair of big bores that I rebuilt with a nice pivoting ball at top because I was running them without a pivoting ball. Don't ask me why I was doing that.
Yeah, definitely run it with a pivot ball. If you're gonna run any shock, run it with a pivot ball. Doesn't matter what shock it is. Run it with a pivot ball.
I was hiding behind my rig. So I didn't want you to see my face when I had to admit all that. And then I also run my Super Swampers. These are some of my favorite tires.
Those ones are worn in.
These ones are worn in. I've actually flipped them.
Oh, nice.
So the inner tire is worn in more than the outer tire.
Nice.
So they're really starting to get a nice tear into them. I've seen people run these almost bare, and they still keep on gripping.
Oh, yeah. If it's a good compound,
I'm a fan. Man. I'm a big fan of dual stage in the back on most of my comp rigs.
Yep.
And then I run Crawler Innovation softs in the front.
Okay.
They give a little more articulation.
Yep.
I'm starting to think that I might talk to, what is it, the SL3D?
Yep. For some squids.
SL3D, get some squids for them, because I felt those squids for the first time, really, and they were pretty sweet. That's one of our friends from Montana that is linked up with our groups. And if Alec could find a squid, he can show you what that is.
Squid.
He will make pretty much a template for any tire. We were just gave away a builder's kit to our local Scumbag RC that we all sponsored, and Squid made him some inserts made for Spec RC tires for cut and shuts from West Desert Wheeler, which were all custom, and it came out muy bueno.
Indubitably. Yep.
I saw a picture of it this morning, and it looked like pretty sweet.
He's quite the tire insert engineer. I gotta say that. You gotta give it to him.
So that's pretty much my rig.
Nice. Very nice. And you covered the body first, so you don't have to go back and cover your body like I did. Yeah. Well, your rig is definitely a bit more built than my rig, but I also.
But I'll tell you, I've watched Alec pull some driver mod that my G-Speed can't even touch.
I think it's been good for me to spend a whole season just like on a really basic rig with really not too much going on with it, so I can just try to learn as much about the driving as I could, because I needed it. I needed to learn that side of things, and now that I have, I can kind of start venturing in. I'd like to get this G-Speed chassis built up for myself and kind of have a cool comp rig like all the cool kids do. But until then, I'll just have to envy yours.
No, he could, ladies and gentlemen, by the way, he has a box full of parts
Yep.
that he's kind of looking at right now that he can build a cool comp rig with.
Well, but it wouldn't be like I couldn't build all of it right now. I need a transmission. I need all of the electronics. I need tires. I need wheels. I need a body. I want to do a hard body for it. So don't tell me I could just whip one up today and it would just be done. No, 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 no. That would not be the case. Okay,
let's go back on some comments.
Yeah,
here.
so I was gonna say, Ryan. We left off with Ryan with the changing motors. Bullets are for the win. Yes, definitely. Jan saying, I'm currently working on a high-low, and I'm wondering what kind of body. Capra cage aside, I want to see the chassis. So comp wagon again, or do you have any ideas? So ideas on good bodies for showing off the chassis on a high-low.
Kind of show it off. Why don't you use even do the creeper body?
Could do a creeper.
JST creeper. It's cheaper. You can order straight from their website. It's only the front cab, so you can really show off the back.
What else have I seen people do with the high-low body? I mean, I'm always a hard body advocate, but at the same time, that's not really going to show off the chassis in any way. Cliffhangers, where my bias leans, just for comp rigs in general. I like the Cliffhanger. I think it performs well, but that's a tough one. That's a tough question. Sorry, I was distracted. I think you were talking about the crawler innovations. Yes. Team K&K body post mounts. Yes, the Team K&K body post mounts are pretty rad. I'm assuming that he's talking about those for your rig, or is it for the? I guess they could probably work for either. The team.
It could be for either. It looks, to tell you the truth, that I'm looking on my rig right now, and I have a mixture of G-Speed and Rock Pirate ones on here.
Oh, nice.
It's like nice. I use 2 of each.
The Team K&K ones do look pretty cool, actually, and they're relatively inexpensive, so that's a good shout out.
Yes, and good shout out, because I'll tell you, I'm not going to say whoever, but some of these ones for a little body mount post, they're a little expensive.
Can get a little bit pricey. Tom Baker saying he wants to come to Utah and crawl. We want you to come to Utah and crawl, Tom. You should come and crawl with us.
Come with us. Come to the Holy Land.
To the dark side. To the Holy Land. Wait, is it the Holy Land? Yeah.
Yeah, come to this.
Come to the place so we can go to the Holy Land. Sorry, off topic, but has anyone done the 3-gear swap on a 10.3? Know if the factory drive shafts will still work? I have not, although I would assume that your factory drive shafts will work on the 3-gear swap. Not 100% sure, but pretty certain. Chainsaw says, "Hey everyone, how's it going?"
The factory drive shafts?
Yeah, but doing a 3-gear swap on the 10.3.
I don't know, but you can also buy
if anything, you just need longer spline gears.
Yeah, you can buy it's like a $60 full wild boar kit.
Right, or the drive shaft kit, not wild boar.
Yeah, the drive shaft kit, and no, it's called wild boar.
Oh, is it called wild boar?
It's an axial wild boar.
I have it sitting around somewhere, but I'm not gonna dig it up.
You learn new things every day, bud.
Well, there you go.
But you can buy that, and I've done that, especially when you
whatever you
when
need.
you RON things and turn it into a 14-inch wheelbase. You need that.
Chainsaw says, "Hey everyone, how's it going, Chainsaw? I don't know who you are, but I like your name." Jay and Darcy's Garage, Alec, that's the link for the Interceptor build. If you guys try to post links in the chat, I don't think it works. I think YouTube blocks them.
Chainsaw, by the way, I think that's a call out to an old movie from the 90s, and I know which one that is, by the way.
I like it.
It's a Summer School, if I'm right.
Deuce724, speaking of a full video on suspension tuning, will you please do a darn video on anti-squat versus anti-squat and anti-dive? So many people ask about suspension geometry, and there aren't any RC specific videos.
We can give you a good link to that also. Our friend Cameron
Oh
from the
yeah.
Nerds, he set up Desert Lizards, and that's how he sets up his shocks. So
Right.
I think he sets them up to full droop. So why don't you check that out?
Yeah, I will. I'll throw a link in the description to his video as well. But yes, that is especially addressing the whole anti-squat versus anti-dive thing. We can go into that in more detail in a future video for sure. You can run the 2700 on 4S, Ryan. That's what I thought, but 4S on everything. That is where I'm going. I'm going 4S on everything. I'm going to the dark side. I like the 4S life. The 4S lifestyle is pretty good. You guys ever run Team Brood Motors, the Creep 27 tooth, and it's out of this world? I have not, but I'm actually very curious now that you bring that up. I'd love to give
wanna
one
say-
a try. Are Three
wanna
Brothers
say
expensive?
this-
Yes. I'm just going to put it out there. Yes.
Well, hold on. there. So-
Yeah, Mr. Deal Swindler, Mr.
No, no, no.
Barterer.
No, I'm not going to talk about the bartering. Basically, I'm going to say there's different levels. Okay, so you can spend $150 on a Savox Monster,
That's true.
which they're quite expensive. They're really strong. I've heard a lot of people put a test. Our local hobby shop swears by them. The other thing is that Three Brothers, the G14, I think you can find them for about $120 right now. That's about around where you're going to find a lot of high-powered servos. They
Right.
did just come out with the G13 Pro, which you're still running about 700 ounces of torque, if I remember right, direct power, and it's only $100. Really sleek.
For reference, the Monster is 694 ounces. The Savox Monster.
Okay.
So
But
it's
speed and-
at 7.4. That's at 7.4. So
Okay.
that's the most you're gonna get out of it, because it won't do above 7.4.
And but the Monster I've definitely seen put through the ringer. I've sent mine through a lot of crap, and
Sure.
it still keeps on kicking. I'm not biased. I don't buy one type. I'm not a sponsored
Right.
driver by anything.
Yeah, I have
So
Shift, I
I
have
kinda-
NSD, Reefs.
I check out everything.
Yeah.
The Pro also goes on sale. The G13 Pro that they just came out with. It also goes on sale. I think at Black Friday they had it for $89.
Yep.
And I'll tell you, man, you also, for being a direct power servo, they give you wires that are have a JST connected
Mm-hmm.
to a balance lead.
So you already have
just
it. It's all set.
bam,
Yeah, it's ready to go.
plug and play.
Yep.
And it was sweet. I really like them.
Very nice.
What else
Where were
got
we
on
at?
there?
Three Brothers expensive. That's where I got sidetracked. Ryan says, got a couple SHV 650 servos coming to me. Very nice. Holmes Hobby makes some good stuff. 3-0 England so far. Mike is
Get it,
just
Mike.
really stoked right now about the World Cup, which we are stoked with you there, Mike. Here, I'm actually going to check the score right now. See what we got going on. Live in the 72nd minute. We've got England 3, still up 3-0. Yep. Pretty good, pretty good. Still some time for things to change, but I don't think they will. Very
Yep.
nice, very nice. That was supposed to be a link. Cameron, I don't know what was supposed to be a link, but I
Like he
I
tried
don't
for
see it. Because I'm not in the stream itself. I'm on like the back end of the stream. So I only see the comments that actually make it through. Any comments that get blocked, I do not see those. So I don't see links that come through, it looks like. So if you want to send me a link, if you want something to be shared, you can send it to my email. That's highnoonhobby@gmail.com. It's the same thing as the channel at gmail.com. Yeah, I'm not talking about droop. I'm not talking about droop or shock setup. I'm talking about link geometry. Yes, I as soon as you said that, I definitely know what you're talking about. And having just dealt with link geometry for myself, I think that we should probably have a video up there for RC specific link geometry.
I vote you.
Mike Bird, I've got myself the Vanquish Portal Builders kit on its way over. Oh, Mike, you got it figured out. Hey, I was going to say I never got an email from you about getting that Vanquish Portal Builders kit over to you, but it sounds like you got it taken care of. So very, very happy to hear that. And then Deuce is back. He's saying back to the
Mike,
Team
I want
Brood
to see
Creep.
pictures.
I have been in a bind and said F it and just eased into the throttle until something gave or rig went and slowly, smoothly, easily snapped my lower aft link end off. Interesting. Wow, that's some power. That's some pretty
Team Brood
significant
doesn't mess around. I think this is a Brush Team Brood 30 turn on my 6x6.
Oh, nice.
And I've wondered a couple times about snapping some axle shafts in there. I'm like, ooh.
What?
Ooh.
Who was it that snapped a link end? Oh, that was on a video I was watching. Harley Designs at one of his that most recent comp video he did, where it's the new comp series that he was starting up in his area, or that someone was starting up in his area. I don't know what electronics he's running, but he snapped a link off at the threads, and that I thought was pretty impressive.
I want to say actually I did the same. I didn't snap it off, but with I want to say it was, when was that? Did we go to that cash comp before? Yeah, we did. I had the NSRD what is it? The V2? What's
NSDRC RS 800 V2?
RS 800 V2.
Yes.
It was the one of the, I don't have a lot of those servos, so I can never remember that one. I had it in there, and I was at a comp, and I used the SSD front steering links in my 10.2 comp rig, and I straight ripped it straight from the rod end right out of the threads.
Oof.
And Cameron saw me just trying to like push it back
get it
in
as
there
mad
and make it work. I couldn't get through the next two gates, so I just
that's unfortunate.
This, I'm done.
Matt, I was impressed. If you go back and watch that, Harley snaps that link and then he does the rest of the course, and I think he only hits one other gate. He's an impressive driver.
Yeah, he's been around the hobby for a minute. I give it to the guy.
He has definitely been around the hobby for a little while. Well, shoot, man, that was our topic, and we're right at an hour and a half.
Boo.
As we always are, over under time.
Over under. As long as we're over under, not just right. I think we've only called it once right at noon.
No. It's got to be over under. We have to be at least a half an hour over or 5 minutes under. It's one or the other.
We like to gamble. We're all about it over and
under. Cameron is being conscripted. He will be our guest for a video about link geometry. We're going to do that probably as a normal upload instead of a live stream, just because there's a lot to... When you start getting into complicated topics, this was like riding the line. This is as close to it as you can get while still being able to live stream this. Any more complicated than just kind of doing a simple breakdown of the rig, and I think you need a full dedicated video for it, because it's just too much to try to process, sort up here, figure out what you want to say, and then say it and have that all come out the way that you want it to.
Besides, Cameron's a guru.
He is a guru. He is definitely a guru. But all right, everyone. I hope that we all enjoyed this Sunday live stream. I know I certainly did. Mike, do you have anything else that you'd kind of like to throw on the table before we call it a day for everyone here?
I don't know. Next time I'm gonna get out and crawls in a month.
Mike is going into work on weekends mode, unfortunately. So he will still be joining us for live streams, hopefully, but we're gonna be juggling that a little bit more, I think.
Yes, through the holidays, if we do some live stream, guys, we might be doing some night live streams or something like that. maybe some quickies or something if I'm up at the ski resort and we need to just bust out some talk about RC. I can do that too. But yeah, we'll figure something out. So, because we really do appreciate all you guys that keep on coming back and giving us stuff to talk about and actually just listening to us jibber jabber for a little while.
It's
We
a good
really
time.
do enjoy it.
We really do have a
I
good time with
bug
it.
Alec all week. I'm like, what are we gonna do about the live stream? What are we gonna do about the live stream? I just enjoy hanging out. And,
I remember
bullshitting
I
with
remember
all
trying
you
to
guys.
force Mike to come on to the first live stream, and now it's become basically his baby. He loves it. It's like his
Yes.
part of the High Noon Hobby YouTube channel is the live stream.
We sit there and yell at each other and get frustrated before we go on live cast, and then we're fully made up by the end.
Yeah, exactly.
You should see our childish games about turning off our mics and our cameras and signing off in between. It's pretty fun.
It's a little ridiculous. It is a little ridiculous. All right. Well, if you don't have anything to add, I don't think I really have much to add. I am going to say definitely make sure you tune in next week for the RC Speedy C3 build breakdown and first run review and 2,000 subscriber giveaway video on Friday. It's going to be a action-packed upload. I will be leaving on Friday to go out of the country, so I will be editing up 2 videos, but if I don't respond to comments or emails or stuff like that, that might be part of the reason why. The 2,000 subscriber.
Are you taking a rig with you?
I don't know if I'm going to be able to take a full-size rig, but I'm thinking about it. I definitely I wish that I would have built up like a line killer 24 scale before it's too late now. I can't do it in such a short period of time.
Just go buy a Capra.
An 18 scale.
Dude, I played with Cletus's and he had nothing on it but tires, and that thing was so weak.
Maybe. I don't know. I'm also pretty broke. I spent a lot of
Put it
money
on your
on
credit
RC
card.
Speedy stuff. That's what I mean is I'm pretty broke. If I have any balance on a credit card, that means I'm broke. High Noon Hobby patches still on the website, still available, along with all sorts of other good High Noon Hobby goodness. The High Noon Hobby sweatshirts are still on there. Mine is now a year old and is faring quite well considering the abuse that Mike has seen me put this thing through.
Like 4 or 5 times a week.
It at least, yeah, for sure.
It's your whoop.
It is. It's my comfort blanket. But yeah, no, all of that stuff's still on the website. The 23 merch drop will be going live with the 2,000 subscriber giveaway, which will all be happening on the website. But all the links, all the info, all the details to that will all be in next Friday's upload. So that's all I got.
All you got.
That's all I got.
What you got is what you got.
That's what
And
I
what
got.
you got is what you got.
So appreciate y'all.
So-
Go ahead and give this video a like if you're watching, because we have this weird problem where people watch us for an hour and a half, and they don't like the video. Hit that like button on your way out. Thank you, Ryan. I appreciate you. Or subscribe, if you want to see streams like this.
Should we go out in fashion like we always do?
Yes, it's got to be the Skiddly-Doo fashion.
Skiddly do it is.
Skiddly-Doo. So, Skiddly-Doo. Skiddly-Doo.